Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from my shotgun shack in the Texas Outback. Well, for all you people who think they're coming to take your guns, you're just paranoid. You're just a conspiracy theorist. Nobody's coming to get your guns. This is what they've been telling us for years, especially as recent as just a few months ago. Major personalities in television and film and in politics, when confronted with the "Are you coming to get our guns?" question, always go, "We're not coming to get your guns, goofy." Anybody that thinks that's paranoid, maybe you shouldn't have guns because you're paranoid. So, if you believe them, that they're not really coming to get our guns and then we're just paranoid, then all of that just got blown the heck away by Mr. Beto O'Rourke on a national television stage last night, who said, not only are we coming to get your guns, but hell yeah, we're coming to get your guns. If your gun was designed to kill people, isn't every self-defense gun designed to kill people? I mean, what do we want to do? Just wound them? If I'm defending myself and Jason's coming at me with a chainsaw, an axe, and a freaking ice pick, okay? I don't really just want to wound him, so he's got to follow me around on one leg with an ice pick, a chainsaw, and an axe. Okay? I ain't trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to stop them from attacking me, and the best way to stop them from attacking me is to have a weapon designed to kill people. They're not designed to change your attitude. They're not designed to take you away from your wrong thinking. Firearms are designed to kill. That's what they do. So essentially he says he's coming for all of them. He named specifically AR-15, which I'm sure you probably own one, and AK-47s, which I own one, or so. And I got one thing to say to Beto O'Rourke. It's right there on my hat, buddy. And thanks to one of my viewers for making me this awesome patch with the Spartan, reminding us of the saying, Molon Labe, which means come and take it. This is what the 300 said when they were on the pass at Thermopylae, holding back hundreds of thousands of Persian invaders. They were the only thing standing between the Persian invasion and the Greek-speaking world, and they stood on the pass in Thermopylae, and they said, "Come and take it." Now, they went down in history. They'll never be forgotten. The 300. They all died on that pass. They all died on that ridge. And so when Beto O'Rourke comes in to take my guns, and he brings his faux army of Nazi communist thugs and brown shirts who do not have proper authority and who are violating our United States Constitution, they will be met with the same resistance that the 300 met the Persians with on the pass of Thermopylae. This freaking house and this freaking driveway is my Thermopylae! Come and take it, Beto! See what happens. I dare you. Now, this man has violated the Second Amendment just by speaking this way in a public format. This is where the First Amendment and the Second Amendment are clashing right now. Because I don't think he should be allowed to even speak such tyranny and oppression, and it violates our Constitution. The even speaking of invading the homes of Americans and using deadly force to take their guns ought to be a triable offense. I think we need to talk to some scholars and find out if that's one of those First Amendment exceptions. Should you have the right to say America should be destroyed? Do you have the right to say, you know what? Honestly, he's threatening me. Beto O'Rourke personally threatened me from a stage last night. I feel threatened. That's a violation of my rights. So he violated my rights, which, you know, your rights end at the end of my nose. So he can say whatever he wants. But if he threatens me, like he just did, because there is no lawful order to collect these guns. There is no way that this is going to do anything but cause massive civil war. Let's talk about how that'll go down, Beto. You want to paint the picture of the phrase you just uttered? the idea, the notion that you just put forth of confiscating personal property from constitutionally protected Americans. This is what it'll look like. In blue states where the local government agrees with you, they will come and take the guns, and there will be one shootout after another. And I promise you, because defenders have the advantage. Just like in Houston, where 5 cops were shot and only 2 civilians were killed, okay? That's 5 and 2, right? Because they were defending their home, and all he had was a 6-shot revolver. He managed to shoot 5 cops. And the only reason they lived is because they were wearing bulletproof vests. Well, guess what? The thing about AK-47s and AR-15s is they slice through bulletproof vests like a hot knife through butter. Okay? The body armor that these people will be wearing when they come to take the guns will not help them if the person is armed with an AR or an AK-47. You understand that? That soft body armor doesn't stand up to it, and you know you need a ceramic plate, which most law enforcement don't wear. They don't wear the ceramic plate, and even if they did, it's just good for one hit. The second one goes right through it. Only steel stops these weapons, which I have steel plates. Do you? Steel plates will stop them, right? Problem is, steel plates are heavy. Most cowboy cops who want to come in your house and be all freaking awesome and you know, shoot their guns and act like I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, these guys, all right, they're too lazy to wear steel. It's too heavy and it's too hot, and I can't move around when I'm wearing the steel plates. So the death toll in these events in these blue states is going to be enormous. 10 dead cops, 2 dead people, 2 dead civilians. Yeah, 15 wounded. That's what you're going to be up against. You go to actually try to take away guns from people who are waiting for you. And I promise you, people that heard Beto speak last night, that live in these blue states, some of them, they're digging parapets, and they're digging holes into their houses with trap doors that open up so they can open fire on their driveway and stop anybody from coming up their driveway. You know, that there are people out there that are hanging logs from chains right now. So when the cop car tries to come on their property, it goes whoom and hits them and drives them into a tree and kills everybody in the car because it's a 2,500-pound Douglas fir sliding this way on a chain. Boom! The absolute can of whoop-ass, the absolute can of worms, the absolute can of total crap that Beto has unleashed with one tirade. I'm telling you, right now, there are people preparing to overthrow the government because of what he said. They're not ready to do it right now. But if Beto or anybody like him ever gets in that executive office or the presidency, and you better think about this. If you love America, you better think about this. What Beto did yesterday was to declare war on the American people, on American gun owners from sea to shining sea. To start a war. We had a war on drugs. How about a war on guns? The thing about a war on drugs is that people that are selling drugs, they're usually doing the drugs, and they're not that smart, and they're not that organized, and they fight amongst themselves. Patriots defending the Constitution have a lot more resolve, a lot more intellect, and a lot more planning going into it. War's coming. That's what Beto told me last night. Civil war is coming to America. So in the blue states, you'll have these shootouts between individuals and the police, the brown shirt thugs that were given this order, this unlawful, unconstitutional order to seize Americans' guns. These guys are going to end up piled up neck deep on the ground, and you're going to end up with dead patriots as well in the blue states. Something different will happen in the red states. For instance, just recently, the state of Missouri saw the writing on the wall, and they passed a Second Amendment Preservation Act. And in that, they basically deny the federal government's ability to infringe upon the Second Amendment rights of the state of Missouri and its people. And so states like Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, maybe Louisiana, potentially, more than likely, for sure, Mississippi and Alabama, Florida, states like that will more than likely, as soon as someone like Beto starts to make quacks about taking our guns, and they actually have power. Thank goodness Beto is actually polling at less than 0, because that's what you are, you piece of crap. You're less than 0. You couldn't even beat Ted Cruz. Come on, my cur dog could beat Ted Cruz. What a wimp you are. Beto, I challenge you to a fist fight. Winner take all, buddy. You can have my guns if you can kick my ass. How's that, you piece of crap? You run and work out all the time, but you never actually faced a real man, you coward. You coward. You're gonna cowardly take our guns? Yeah, I don't freaking think so. So in states where you have the state behind you, one of the reasons I came back to Texas, the state's behind me here. And so in states like Texas and other states in the South, places where the Second Amendment is valued, the state will make laws prohibiting the government, the federal government, from enacting any of these gun grabs. And if any of these brown-shirted thugs try to come into states like Texas, they'll be arrested. Okay, so this is how civil war between the states and the federal government will start over guns. Because some brain-dead liberal who can't think past the end of his freaking nose, who's got about as much logic as a employee at McDonald's. Sorry if you work at McDonald's and you're 16. If you work at McDonald's and you're 60, you made some mistakes. I hope not to work at McDonald's. I may have to. I would. I don't know how I got off on McDonald's. I guess because Beto ought to be working there instead of standing on a national stage. Who put this surfer, surf punk on that platform? And why is he there and Tulsi Gabbard is not? Ask yourself that. Why is Beto standing on that stage and Tulsi Gabbard is watching it on television? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Tulsi Gabbard isn't nearly communist enough for these people. I hope and pray and trust whoever they put up there loses hands down to Donald Trump. But I gotta tell you, he got cheers when he said, hell yeah, we're coming for your guns. He has support. There are people on the left who think like this. We'll just come and take them. Come and take them then. See if you got a pair. Lay it down and see if you can back it up, bud. You won't just have a battle between individual gun owners like me. You'll have a battle between states like Texas and Missouri now who have passed this recent law. So, I'm a little ticked. I cannot believe that I saw him standing up there basically asking for demanding, telling us, I'm going to come destroy America. You try to take guns, it'll tear America apart, I promise you. You know why, Beto? It's not that we don't love children. It's that we're not buying your lame, brain-dead, room temperature IQ response to this problem. The problem isn't guns, pal. The problem is a society that's making it impossible for young men to succeed. They can't earn enough money to land a woman and to have the American dream, and they become more and more dissatisfied. And when they get older and they start to hit that late teen to early 20s age bracket and they don't have their life moving, it starts to get to them. That's your fault, leaders. That's your fault for creating a place where a man can't get a job and work and earn enough money to live away from his parents and to have a life for himself. Everybody wants to blame the guy that's laying on his parents' couch. Well, what about an environment where it takes 2 or 3 people to earn enough money to rent a 1-bedroom apartment in Portland? That in Portland there are people working full-time jobs and 4 or 5 of them are pitching in to get one apartment that's meant for 1 or 2 people. They're laid on the floor, and they get in the morning, they get on their bicycles, and they ride to work. I know these people. But when a society leaves people behind, they lash out. That's what this is about. It isn't even about mental illness. Maybe they went crazy. What drove them crazy? There's a lot to this issue. Medications, mental health, all of this is an issue. Guns just aren't it. There were more guns per capita in times past, and none of these mass shootings happened. These mass shootings are happening in other countries. Beto, you know that, and you're just lying and covering it up. You're just covering it up with the mainstream media. This happens in other countries where there's total gun bans. Germany, France, all these places where you can't get a gun unless you know somebody or you blow somebody. You ain't getting a gun, and yet AK-47s and bombs are used on the Charlie Hebdo newspaper. Right? Killing all of those people there in those gun-free countries. Guns are not the issue. The issue is a broken culture, a ruined economy, and a world where a man just can't get ahead. And that'll drive just about anybody crazy eventually. So, bottom line here, Beto, come and get it. You ain't man enough. You ain't politician enough to get elected. And they only put you up there to sacrifice you, to say the thing they're all thinking, that they're going to come take our guns. You ain't got the balls to take my guns, boy.